In 49 BCE, Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon and set Rome on a course towards civil war. At the center of the storm stood Cato the Younger, the last true believer in the Roman Republic. He stood in the Senate and delivered a final plea, what history now remembers as Cato's last Republican appeal. He urged resistance. He demanded a sacrifice. He called on Rome's leaders to stand for liberty, for law, for the people. No one moved. The Senate froze. Most fled. Many aligned with Caesar. Cato, disillusioned, left Rome to join Pompey. His speech wasn't a rallying cry, it was a funeral oration, so why did it fail? The Republic had already broken its social contract. Cato asked Romans to risk their lives for the Republic. But by that point, the Republic had long since stopped working for the people. The early Republic was held together by something more than laws or legions. It was driven by an idea, what we might call a social contract, that those in power had duties to those below and that citizens had a shared stake in the future. Or as JFK would later echo, to those whom much is given, much is expected. But by Cato's time, Rome's elite had broken that promise. The Senate grew rich, the provinces bled, the people were bread-fed and spectacle-distracted but not empowered. So when Cato called for duty, he found a country that no longer believed in its elite or in itself. Stoicism, virtue in a vacuum. Cato was a Stoic, arguably the most devout of his time. He placed personal integrity above all else, holding fast to virtue even when compromise might have saved the Republic. But as a political philosophy, Stoicism collapsed in practice when severed from the principle of mutual obligation. The deeper question is, why be virtuous at all? As the Stoics taught, is virtue an end in itself, a path to personal greatness? Or is it meant to serve others, to strengthen the fabric of the community? That's where Stoicism fell short. It framed virtue as self-perfection, not civic duty. However, virtue, like law or leadership, only has meaning when it serves the people. Ultimately, the Stoics revered virtue for its own sake, forgetting that virtue was made for man, not man for virtue. It told elites to be disciplined. It told them to suffer with dignity. It told them to fall heroically if needed. But it didn't rebuild the bond between leader and citizen, law and justice. And Rome and Romans. Cato fell, and the Republic fell with him. This wasn't the last time Stoicism failed. A dying state Seneca, Stoic tutor to Nero, tried to guide a tyrant with reason. He ended his life in forced suicide, complicit in a regime that burned while he meditated on ethics. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, ruled with grace, but also watched the twilight of Pax Romana. His death gave rise to Commodus, and with him, the slow rot of the empire. 3 Stoics, 3 collapses. In every case, Stoicism didn't prevent decay, it preceded it. And today, look around. Stoicism is back, in podcasts, in political rhetoric, in the culture of the American right. It speaks of self-mastery, emotional restraint, and grit in hard times. But here's the pattern again: lost wars. Iraq, Afghanistan, Ukraine, deindustrialization, factories gone, unions busted, wages stagnant. Hedge funds are destroying established businesses for short-term profit. Social fragmentation, polarization, mental health crises, declining trust. And once more, the social contract is broken. The working class pays more and receives less. The elites speak of virtue but hoard privilege, and fewer people answer when the call goes out to sacrifice, fight, vote or serve. Because deep down, they know the Republic hasn't shown up for them. Is Stoicism the cure or a coping mechanism? Maybe Stoicism isn't the problem. Perhaps it's what appears when the fundamental mechanisms of power, trust and civic duty have already failed. It's noble, but lonely. It trains individuals to suffer decline with grace rather than demand reform. That makes it a compelling philosophy for emperors, senators and influencers in post-republican systems. But it doesn't inspire nations to rise. If Cato had understood one thing, something every republic must remember, it's this: virtue alone doesn't sustain a state. Reciprocity does. Governments must serve the people, and the people in turn will serve the nation. Without that, the republic becomes an empty form. Stoicism is not a solution but a eulogy. So ask yourself this: When Stoicism becomes your society's dominant ethic, is it a call to greatness or a signal that the social contract is already gone? If that made you uncomfortable, good, that's the point. Like, subscribe and let me know, do we still live in a republic or just its ghost?